Welcome back to the channel. Today I am talking all about how to literally launch an ad. And I know it might be so simple for some and really confusing for others, but I just want to do a quick overview for maybe some beginner people. Maybe if you're a beginner business owner, Medspa owner, and you want to run an ad, but you don't know how to use Ads Manager, but you've heard not to boost posts, this is going to be the video for you, okay? I'm using a dummy account right now, and I'm going to link it to my page, to my business page. So I want to go over a few things, and this might be a longer video because there's a lot of nuances. I did another video on that. There's a lot of things to just keep in mind before you launch an ad. Okay, so if you're a beginner at launching ads, let me share my expert knowledge after 12 years of what I have learned over running ads for a lot of clients. I have run ads for clients from Medspas, which is my niche currently, to car dealerships, to wellness influencers, to fitness coaches, to marketing coaches, and pretty much everything in between. You name it, I've probably run ads for it. Local businesses across the board. So just want to show you guys how this all works, okay? Now, before we start, as always, please subscribe to my channel if you're liking the content, if it was helpful. Leave a comment if there's something that you want to see that you've always been curious about, and take a look at my other videos. I am doing this content obviously for free because I want people to be able to run profitable ads on their own, and then once you get to the point where you're really seeing good results, and then hiring an agency and outsourcing it and getting it off your plate. But I do think it's important for all business owners to understand how to run ads and have a basic knowledge of how to run ads, because it's critical to getting more eyes on your stuff. And I do truly believe that now more than ever, we are at a point, especially on Facebook and Instagram, where they want you to pay to play if you're a business. So if you know how to run ads, it's a really important skill. So we're gonna just quick and easy. Now I know this is something that you guys can do. You can look it up on ChatGPT, but I wanna take you through each step because I do feel like it's easy to see it right in front of you to understand what's going on. In this video, once it's uploaded, will probably be outdated because Meta is constantly making changes. But for the purposes of this video, let's get to it. Okay, so first things first, when you're in here, you typically want to already have your audiences set up, and you do that in all tools and audiences. And maybe that's a separate video that I can create altogether, but that's where you're going to build out your audiences. So you can do your warm audiences, and that's people who know, like, and trust you. So that's people that follow you on Instagram, follow you on Facebook, go to your website, are on your email list, have seen your videos, right? Those are your warm audiences. Then you can create lookalike audiences. Those are people who look like or have the same attributes or similar attributes as the people on as your warm audiences, but it's a broader audience. Okay, so Facebook basically puts its feelers out there to find people that look like your warm audience to show your ads to. And then, of course, there's cold audiences. I love a good cold audience because with local businesses like Medspas, you're trying to reach people in a certain geographic location, and those tend to be colder audiences. Now, maybe they do know of your business, but they've never been in, they're not a customer, they're not a client, whatever you want to say. That's a cold audience, okay? Now that typically you want to have loaded into your account before you launch ads. You also want to have your credit card loaded into your account before you launch ads, or a PayPal linked to it, because if you go to launch ads and you don't have a credit card, it won't let you. Or if you have a credit card that's expired, it'll reject all your ads, and it could potentially deactivate your account or disable your account until you get the payment updated. They take payment methods being updated very seriously. And then as far as Events Manager, that's where you want to set up your pixel and everything. Again, I could do a separate video on that. There's a million videos on YouTube covering this, but this is more of a nuances video, okay, for beginners who are looking to just launch an ad. So we're going to go to hit create, and this is the screen you're going to see. Now, don't worry about this auction type reservation. I leave it as auction, and then you're going to choose an objective. Now, the objective, and I've talked about this in other videos, is what you're telling Facebook, the action that you want your audience to take, okay? So for example, if you want people to go to your website and just view the content on your website, you would optimize for traffic, okay? So you're telling Facebook, take the people that see my ads and send them to my website, okay? It's good for link clicks, landing page views. You can send people to your Instagram through that. You can send people to your DMs through that, or you can have them call. That's an option. Personally, I don't like awareness campaigns. I don't like reach campaigns. I think the metrics are kind of fluff. I think it's pointless. Engagement, again, let's say that you want people just to engage with your ads, then you can retarget them down the road, or you want people to send a message. That's what you're going to do. So whatever objective you choose is what you want people what you want Facebook to tell people to take action on. So most people want conversions, sales, people filling out forms, leads, right? So when you choose this objective, you're telling Facebook, I want my audience, the most appropriate audience that I'm targeting, so the people that I'm looking for, to fill out a form, to go to my website and take an action. So fill out my scheduler, to send me a message and become a lead, to call, or to convert in some way, okay? So let's, for the sake of this example, choose leads, because this is typically the most common thing that people want. Now, if you have this set up, you need to have your pixel set up, because without the pixel, Facebook can't properly optimize. So basically, let me just like lay out what it would look like for like, I'll give you an example of my client. For her ads, here's what we do. We take a lead campaign, okay? Create a lead campaign. It's actually a conversion campaign. We send people from the ads to a landing page. It's actually a contact page where it has a simple form at the top of the page. They fill out the form, okay? And they hit the submit button, and then they go to a thank you page. We're going to be tracking the traffic that goes to that thank you page, because the only traffic that's going through that funnel, through that series, is from ads, okay? That helps us get a really straightforward view of the action that is being taken and also the results that we're getting. And when people fill out that form, we tell Facebook, we want people to fill out this form and get to this thank you page. It's called like a custom conversion. When people fill out that form, Facebook can say, okay, let's find more people like that person that filled out that form that will take action on that, okay? So you have to have the back end stuff set up before you do that, okay? So you've got to have the landing page set up, the thank you page redirect, and you have to have the ad set up correctly. This is where a lot of people get confused, because they think they can just chuck some information into Ads Manager and hope for the best. And if you're not that sophisticated with your tech knowledge, and you don't have a web developer that can create pages easily and quickly and like redirects and things like that, your best bet will probably be a messaging campaign, okay? Or if you want people just to go to your website to learn more, or to call, a traffic campaign, okay? Leads tend to be a little bit more complicated, because you do have to have the tracking set up to support what action you want people to take, okay? So if you set up a campaign, a leads campaign, a conversion campaign, and you don't have any of that tracking set up, Facebook is not going to be able to get you the results, the sales, the conversions, the bookings that you are looking for, because it's not able to track the people that are going from the ad to the website and then taking that action. There'll be like a stop. There'll be like a break in the process. So Facebook can't possibly say, we want to find more people that look like that, because they don't know what action they're taking once they leave Facebook, if the pixel's not on, or if they've submitted it and it's not tracked on the back end, okay? I'm trying to make this as little confusion as possible, but it can be confusing, and that's why I'm doing this video. So let's hit continue. I'm just gonna take you like through the basics, okay? So typically what it'll show you at that point is a manual campaign, like do you want a manual campaign versus a automatic? We always choose manual. The automatic is AI. So this is the campaign. This is at the campaign level. So there's 3 tiers to your ads manager. Again, it's like a funnel. You've got the campaign level, you've got the ad set level, and the ad level. The campaign level, sorry, my nose is like so stuffy today with allergies. The campaign level is where you're going to name the campaign. So let's say, for the sake of this video, I'm going to call it YouTube promo campaign, because I'm literally just like walking through it. Okay. That's what I'm going to call it. And the more detailed you can be, the better, because it's going to help you down the line if you plan on running a lot of campaigns. Now, Facebook's going to say Advantage plus Leads campaign, okay? So they're going to want you to use their AI, which is called Advantage Plus. It's just like a fancy name, okay? And what it says here is, your campaign is set up to maximize performance with AI. So if you are a med spa and you want to reach a specific audience, so let's say I want to reach women ages 35 to 60 in my local area, you're not going to want to do the Advantage Plus audiences, because Facebook takes their AI basically and says, we'll show your ads to people in your audience, but we're also going to show your ads to other people. So it could show your ads to men. It could show your ads to women who are 20 or 21, right? It could show your ads to women outside of your area, okay? That is one of these nuances with AI that you really have to be mindful of, because I have noticed a lot of issues in one of the groups that I coach in. The salon owners and the estheticians and the Medspa owners have said, why are my ads reaching outside the audience that I'm targeting? And it's because of this AI, and I'm going to show you how to turn that off as we go. So this is your budget strategy, campaign budget or ad set budget. So basically what this means is you want to set a total budget at the campaign level, or do you want to set a budget of a couple dollars at each ad set, so each audience, okay? I prefer to do a campaign budget and then do a daily budget, so it's split across the ad sets. But if you want to do like an ad set budget, and you could do something like a couple dollars a day to each ad set, that's fine too. As far as the daily budget, for a leads campaign, conversion campaign, you want at least $30 to $40 a day. Now that probably seems high, but you're asking Facebook to show your ads to higher quality people who are going to take a higher quality action, who are then going to turn around and have a higher quality ROI. So for example, our clients, some of our clients, one of them does medical weight loss, and her cost per lead can be anywhere from $30 to $70, okay? But the cost of medical weight loss is like $1,200 a month for 6 months. So that ROI is huge, okay? You have a higher ROI when you're in this industry, the med spa aesthetics, medical weight loss industry, because it's a more expensive, these are more expensive services. So it's okay to pay more per lead. It's okay to pay $100 per lead if you're making $4,000 on each person, right? So just keep that in mind and understand and have those expectations, because yes, you're paying more, but you stand to make more than someone who's selling a $13 t-shirt, right? And that's a whole other can of worms. So for this, I'm gonna put $40, okay? Just for the sake of this example. You don't wanna put special ed categories because you're not in a special ed category. This is typically for people who are like banking, employment, housing, politics. They wanna know about that. So let's hit next, and now we're going to the ad set level. This is the audiences. This is where you choose your audience. So let's say, for the sake of this example, actually, you know, I'm gonna say that for this example, it's like med spa in, I don't know, Arizona, okay? So let's say for the sake of this example, we're gonna do Arizona audience. Okay, and again, you wanna be more specific probably, because you could do like women, ages 35 to 60, okay? Now, you wanna pick, this is one of my clients here, you wanna pick your conversion location, so that's where you want people to take the action, okay? That's where you want to generate the leads from. So you can choose instant forms. That's directly on Facebook. I don't love that because I think the quality of leads is low. You can choose website. This is what most of my clients do, okay? You can choose Messenger, Instagram, calls, or app. So calls, maximize number of calls. Again, I'm gonna put this here. Facebook page. For the sake of this example, let's just do Instagram quick. Yeah, okay. And then for performance goal, maximize number of leads. Actually, let me just show you really quickly. When you choose website, it's going to ask for the conversion event that you want, okay? So that's where that events manager, you really need to have that set up there, because it's not going to be able to, Facebook's not gonna be able to optimize for any results if you don't have that set up. So you need to have that set up correctly. So I would hire an expert to do that. So again, for the sake of this example, let's just say I want people to go to my page, okay? To my Facebook page. Or to my Instagram and send me messages, okay? So it sends you all this like gobbledygook rules and things, and then you want to pick a start date. So let's just say today at 4 p.m. Eastern, unselected, budget scheduling, you can choose that. I don't really do any of this. Okay, so now we're in the audience section, okay? Now, this has changed because see the Advantage Plus is on. I don't want the Advantage Plus to be on, okay? So it says stay in current setup, and this is going to limit the reach of your ads, or you can go to switch setup. This is what I do. This is the original audience settings, okay? Again, Facebook wants you to use their AI. That's what they're saying, switch to recommended setup. So then you pick your location. So again, like for the sake of this example, let's put Arizona. Yeah, let's just say Phoenix again for the sake of this example, and let's say like 30 miles, because people I don't think are traveling much farther than that unless you're very, very well known. Okay, now here's key: reach more people likely to respond. So it says we'll also reach people interested in your selected cities and regions in those countries. I'm going to uncheck that. I don't want people outside of that area, because if I'm a local business owner, I don't want people from PA seeing my ads, because they're gonna be like, why am I getting served this ad? This med spa is in Phoenix, right? It's not even close. So keep that in mind as you're like launching your ads. And then again, Facebook is gonna like bully you into trying to like use their AI. Don't listen to them. And then again, this is where you choose your age. So for this example, let's say 30, and I'll just leave it 65. Okay, we'll also reach people beyond your age range. Okay, uncheck that. And then all genders, we want women for the sake of this example. Uncheck this. See, there's a lot of this. There's a lot of this like AI bullying. Custom audiences, no, you don't want this right now because this is a cold audience. But if you did have a warm audience that you wanted to retarget, like your Instagram followers, this is where you'd put that. And it would be under custom audience and you'd include it in there, okay? And all demographics and just behavior. And then for languages, I usually put English just because, again, most of my clients are English speaking. Okay, so now we're in placement. So this is where Facebook is like, okay, where do you want your ads to be shown, right? So let's go here. All mobile devices, Android devices, yep, okay, so there, and then Facebook and Instagram, placement controls, and this is where you can choose where you want your ads to be placed. So feeds, stories, all of that. And this is gonna be a little bit different based on the objective that you choose, so just be mindful of that. Skippable ads included, so exclude skippable ads in the ad set. I would just leave that as is, and then hit next. Okay, so this is like that. You've pretty much set everything up at this point. Now it's just the fun stuff, which is just the like putting in your copy and creative. I do recommend having a doc with your copy and having your Canva, like your creative in Canva, because if you're trying to do it while you're setting up the ads, you're going to get distracted and then you're going to end up having to redo this all over again. So I would do that ahead of time, and I probably should have said that ahead of time. But this is where it's going to say ad setup, and you can do a single image or video, carousel. Multi-advertiser ads is basically your ads can appear alongside other ads in the same ad unit to people. I don't like that. I don't want my ad shown around, like, I think it's overwhelming. So if my ad is shown with other people's ads, that's overwhelming to me. I don't like that. I want people to focus on my ad only, okay? So this is where you set up the creative, video or image, and you can do testing. I don't recommend doing that. I would just test it on your own. And then this is where you can create a messaging template. So like, this is one I had, about masterclass. But you can create one that says something to the effect of, it has a welcome message, and it can say like, hi, we'd love to know how we can help you. And if depending on your service, you can say like, are you interested in medical weight loss? Or are you interested in fat freezing? Basically whatever it is that you specialize in might be a good time to put this here, okay? And you can also include customization. So you can say how we can help you, and then I would put their first name. So you can add that here. And that's the bot will say their first name, and then you can ask them questions and set that up. And then there's a completion message again, and then you can preview in Messenger. So this is like an option. You don't have to use that. And then there's like existing too. It's an automated chat. And you can check these. This is just like other tracking. And then URL parameters is basically you're taking a Google URL and putting it in here, a Google URL parameter. And that's a separate video for another day. So that's how you set up an ad campaign for beginners. And that's a lot of like the nuances that I think people don't realize when they go into Ads Manager to go launch an ad, okay? Just keep those things in mind. Once again, let me know if this was helpful. Please hit subscribe if you like these videos. And if you have something that you are questioning, like how to do something in Ads Manager, or how to test ads or things like that, or how to set up your pixel, comment below the video, and I'll take a video of it, like a loom like this. And then as always, if you are a Medspa and you are looking for someone to run your ads for you, and you're at this point where you just want to like outsource it and get it off your plate, but you want somebody that has a proven track record, that has results, that has gotten results for the last 5 years for her clients, click the link to book a call and see if you're a good fit, because we are a boutique ad agency and we only take on one client at a time because we want to give our full attention to that client as we're onboarding them. So as always, thank you so much for your time, and I'll talk to you guys soon.